Big up, everybody. Welcome back. It's your boy, Deji Spurs. I have to say, it's a first 2 streams in one day. Big up. I got my guy, Monts, in the building. Monts, thank you for making it. Monts was at the game, saw it live, and I think, Monts, it made sense, to be honest, for us to not just jump in straight away. I think with how things went on over the weekend, I think we all needed time to walk away and just catch a stiff drink, catch a fresh air, and just reflect on the game. But welcome to the channel, bro. How you been?
I've been all right, man. Just a whole load of had to run a lot of streams. I think this is like my 3rd stream or 4th stream today. So you know what I'm saying, I'm just here, just getting the streams. I'm just glad to be here. You know what I'm saying. Obviously, I couldn't make it to the preview, so it's only right that obviously, man, jumped on one of the post games to come just chop it up, man. As I said, that I've done enough content with you before. Like, we ain't done content before, so you know what I'm saying. So just good to be here, man. You know what I'm saying.
No, big up to you, man. Big up. You know, it's enough respect, and you know, for me, you know, we do the banter side of things, but really and truly, I just want to kind of get in, and both of us were football lovers, football players first, because we play ball, so you understand what I'm saying. And then obviously,
how you know I play ball?
Oh, I can see it, bro. I can tell you can play. See, let me tell you, real recognize real, innit? Ballers recognize ballers. And yeah, I think Cass invited me to that thing that happened at Wolverhampton. But I think if I can, if I'm not away, then I'll look to be involved in the one this year, 100%.
I hope, bro. My crazy experience. Make sure, man.
Yeah. So let's do it. So, bro, look, Tottenham v Liverpool. We know what happened. For me, I just think it's a great start for Tottenham this season, bro. I mean, to win 5 games from 2. If someone told me at the beginning of the season Tottenham would have 17 points, knowing that we would have played Liverpool, Arsenal, and Man United, I'd have been like, my heart would have been like, I would love it to happen, but definitely one of those 3 teams is taking 3 points from Spurs. But here we are on the 4th of October. None of them teams has beaten Spurs. I think one of them, in fact, out of those 3 teams, it's only Arsenal that's got a point, and they just about got that point as well. So we would have had a clean sweep of 3 of the big 6. I mean, I know you're fuming. I saw your kind of reaction. On reflection, was the 2-1 a fair result for Spurs?
I think 1-1 was a fair result. I think Spurs, for me, are a lot more. I'm used to you lot being a bit more clinical up top. I'm not gonna listen. Alisson had a good game, so I'm not gonna act like he didn't make save. You know what I'm saying?
These are different kettle of fish.
But for me, by the way, and I'm throwing this one out there, I always said Tottenham are going to be better about Kane, and I was caned for it. I was caned for saying that. I said this 2 seasons ago, and I said it last season as well. I said, yo, and don't take this as a disrespect to Kane. I said, Kane has been scoring 30 plus for like 8 years. So if it ain't working this year, the 30 goals ain't going to work next year.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? No. Let him go and then build the squad. Because the way the owners work, they're like our owners. They're not going to build around Kane. So get rid of him and use the money to build around the squad. You know what I'm saying? That's always been my Spurs vision, innit? If you really want to get the best out of them, just from an outside point of view, I'm not going to act like I know the most about your club. Do you know what I'm saying? But so obviously with seeing you guys play, I immediately, and again, like I think this is the 3rd Tottenham Liverpool game I've seen live. I always see you lot in playing. I went to the 1-1 at Anfield, the 1-1 at Anfield, the one in the quad season. I went to that game as well. And obviously, I just looking at the result for this game, I just feel like with the way the game went, to hold out as long as we did and defend as well as we did, I do think 1-1 was a fair result. I don't think a Liverpool win was in the question. I think a 1-1 was a fair result. I think you guys were very wasteful in front of. I think maybe because we had 10 men, that's what allowed you lot to be a little bit lackadaisical in front of goal.
Yeah.
In terms of the last minute decision making, I think the subs didn't make a great impact. I think Son and Maddison weren't fit. As well, they weren't fully fit. So I think they, again, 60, 70 minutes in the tank, and you probably get maybe 20 minutes of them at top level because of their fitness.
Yeah.
But I just think that even with 10 men, you lot were still susceptible to the counter attack. That's why I can't concede. I can't concede to the fact that 2-1 was a fair result. You know what I'm saying? I think 2-1, I'll take it. I think even amongst the poor VAR decision, which we'll get to later on in the stream, even amongst all of that, even amongst the 2 red cards, all the yellow cards that weren't given in the game, and we'll get to those as well. I think so many yellow cards didn't need to be given. Adogi's tackle was never a yellow card. Saka's moment with Basuma was never a yellow card, but that's another thing. I just feel like Gravenberch just needed to hold that ball in the corner with the 30 seconds left. Instead, he decides to take on an informed Van de Ven, gets bodied, and then you see what I'm saying? The rest is history. So I think even amongst all the bad decisions, it was still in our hands to get the draw. It was in our hands to draw that game.
I agree, and I'm actually going to say something mad. I think the game, what you want to see, because the only thing with what happened on the weekend is it left a lot of doubt. It left a lot of ifs and buts. And for me, I don't like ifs and buts in football. When you've got 2 great teams playing ball, you want it to be like they left it out on the field and everybody was looking forward to the game. And what I mean by the ifs and buts is the game was quite open when we had 11v11, before Curtis Jones was sent off. You managed to find some space. We managed to find a little bit of space. And one thing I know about Tottenham is that we're not good at breaking down low block. So as soon as you, man, decided that we're just going to do this counter-attack thing.
Well, forced into it, yeah.
You didn't want to play that, but you were forced into it. And then that was like, shit, what are we going to do? Like, how are we going to break it down? And you could see we had problems because even with 9 men, we still couldn't break you down. Do you get me? Oh, sorry. Big up to... I hope I'm saying your name right. Matthew P. Big up from South Africa, from the motherland. Man might be out there in Joburg next year. And big up here to there, always showing love. So for me, it would have been nice to see what would have happened if we had 11v11. Even still, though, what kind of pissed me off a little bit and what made me... I'm not going to lie. I was standing up watching the game in my living room and then I had to sit down. I had to sit down when Diaz scored that legit goal because I'm thinking, you've played football and I've played football. When you've got an extra man makes a difference. Even if it's because there's nobody there. Curtis Jones was there and now he's not. There's a gap there. And it means that the people in the midfield or the attackers are having to do more running. That's what people don't really understand about when you lose a man. It means that the team with the man less obviously have to work harder. And so in doing that, I'm seeing the Tottenham players chill and then we let Diaz score. That didn't make no sense to me. Then we go 1-0 up, then you bloody equalize. And I'm thinking to myself, so are you telling me that 10-man Liverpool can go toe-to-toe with a full 11 Spurs?
Because I feel like with 10 men, we still had a goal in us. I agree. I feel like with 10 men, I thought we had a goal in us still. I feel like we still had a goal.
And you should, for me, whichever team's got, because if the shoe was on the other foot, if Tottenham go to 10 men, we don't score. I can guarantee you, we're not scoring against Liverpool with 10 men. And so for me, even though
pace, innit? You said because you need pace, proper pace in the front line.
You need pace, but also you guys have cooked more. You're more polished. Like
we
see that the Liverpool players, they weren't rattled. We were rattled. You just went, all right, come.
Also, you got to remember we've had to play with 10 men for 70 minutes against Newcastle.
Yeah,
remember
I still
win. We went down to, we had to play for 10 men for 40 minutes against Bournemouth.
Yeah.
At 2-1. And let's be honest, like Bournemouth weren't exactly rolling over in that game. 2-1, it was still a respectable score to maybe we could have conceded. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Bournemouth can sometimes get an odd goal here and there. So again, even though, by the way, both of those red cards very suspect in the Bournemouth and the thingy game, especially the McAllister one.
Yeah.
So obviously, like, I think the boys, as you said, because this season we played with 10 men twice, I don't think the boys were as rattled. And I was at the game in it, so Darwin Núñez, I don't think the camera showed it. Darwin Núñez was before Jota's red card, Darwin Núñez was ready to come on. So we was really ready for the counter-attacking, pacing behind thing before Jota was going to get sent off. I
was
feel
getting worried.
That would have been a real problem because of his pace.
I was getting worried. I don't know if you heard it when I was on the show with Roms, but I was telling him that I would love Núñez at Spurs. He would fit our system down to a T, because what Postecoglou wants is just straight up madmen up top. It basically, we want to do what you're doing, and we need a speedy Gonzalez, and that's what Núñez is a problem. Why people are not putting respect on this brother? He just needs a bit more time to cook. So when I saw Núñez was getting ready to come on, I was like, oh no, I could have seen Spurs. Look, I'm not here to shake my bum for Liverpool and to make you feel good about your team for losing on the weekend. Yeah, it would have been long. If Núñez came on, it would have been long for Spurs.
I feel like Arsenal fans got butthurt on the stream on my stream in the preview. In the preview on last Friday, I said Liverpool versus Spurs, two of the best teams in the Premier League right now.
Respect.
And I was like, huh? And they were like, huh?
Yeah.
Why do you have to say two of the best teams in the league? This, and the third. I said, what? Just because I didn't mention Arsenal. I said, bro, in the league right now, the three best performing teams are Tottenham, Liverpool, and Manchester City.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. I don't see why everyone's getting so butthurt over that.
Yeah, they're shaking their bums. Arsenal have been dusty, but they've just been getting results.
It was a FOMO thing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
No, I agree. No, I totally agree. And to be honest, bro, it's weird for me because this is where I was expecting to be last year, and it didn't quite happen. But this is what I wasn't expecting Tottenham to start off so well and to be playing so well. But one of the things I was saying last week was the fact that every game Tottenham has played, we've had more ball possession. That's our game. And I'm convinced, even with 11-man Liverpool, Spurs would have had more ball possession. I think we were ready to go toe-to-toe. I knew that Udogie was going to pattern Salah. Yep, I knew it. Salah was going nowhere. But the issue I had was Pedro Porro. And it proved anyway, because Diaz was getting away from Porro enough time for me to realise that, boy, man was right. And then obviously Curtis Jones got sent.
But I think the ref messed up Udogie, because when Udogie got the yellow card, I don't know if you know, Salah started getting some joy. After he got put on the yellow, Salah he weren't putting in the clamps. He was kind of like stepping off.
You can't clamp Salah because he's not Saka. See, Saka, when Udogie got the yellow card against Saka, Udogie was showing Saka the line, saying, all right, come true in it. If you want to go toe-to-toe, if you want to have a foot race, let's do it. Salah already showed Udogie early on that he's up for this pace thing, burning thing already. And when you know someone is on it like that, you really have to just calm yourself down and settle. And I think that's exactly what he did. So I'm just gonna just roll into the chats real quick and then come back into the game. So we've got Professor Klopp was properly educating on the Premiership. Klopp has changed so many games tactically this year. Mons, I want to ask you to comment on that. Liverpool fans must understand why nobody is as moved as they expected them to be about this PGM nonsense. Yeah, I kind of agree. I don't know what I am finding. I like Klopp. I really like him. You know, if you see the show before, I respect this brother. What a man. And for him to have what he's achieved at Liverpool, let's not get it twisted. With Man City being Man City, for you to have still won the league and won the Champions League, just put some respect on my brother's name. But I have to say, he went low. He's gone low today, bro. Today, with this whole dusty comment about replay, is he crazy? Is he stupid? Do you know how many times Tottenham play? I was saying to Roms before kickoff last week that Tottenham is due a win against Liverpool. We were due a win. The amount of robberies, bro. The amount of robberies. The biggest robbery for me is that people don't acknowledge that Tottenham was in the Champions League final because they say that we lost. But we all know in the first 2 minutes, the dustiest of dustiest handball was given against Sissoko. We can never get that back unless Jurgen Klopp is saying to us all that he wants to replay the Champions League final. He should shut his mouth and hush his gums. That's really where I'm going with it. It's starting to piss me off. Huh?
Two things. I'll say two things. First of all, I love my manager, but him chat too much.
Yeah.
I'll say that for one. My girl chats too much as well. Care about her a lot. I love her too. You know what I'm saying? You see it?
Yeah.
You see it? We can love the missus, but you know when the chat to talk to, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying my missus talks too much, but I'm just saying, a man's missus can talk too much and you'll still love her. So I still love my manager. That's what I'm getting at here. Yeah. Now, what I'm trying to go with in this sense is the fact that I don't co-sign Jurgen Klopp saying he said a replay is the third decision, because decisions go against everyone and it happens to all teams. I do believe there's a certain hierarchy in robberies. I think the Diaz robbery is right up there with the Arsenal-Brentford robbery, where man forgot to draw the lines and they all got fired and that. I don't know if you guys remember that from last season. That is it's on the same level as that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not co-signing no replays, and what I just feel like, rather than everyone get onto Liverpool about acting how they're acting, I think this is bigger than Liverpool. I think this is something that all teams should do. So I think the next team, I don't want any other team to get robbed the way we got robbed. As much as I hate so many of the top 6 rivals, I hate Chelsea, I hate Arsenal, but I don't want to see these men get robbed the way they did. I want to say you lost because you lost. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't want to say, I don't want to do this sort of thing. So for me, I would rather than, I'm not saying you, rather than people get onto my club for getting the audio and doing all of this, I think other clubs should do this as well, to knuckle down, to know that these men cannot blink in that room upstairs. You know what I'm saying? Because we now, that Tottenham Liverpool game was ruined, really ruined. Like, Tottenham fans have won the game, but you've almost kind of robbed Tottenham fans of going, how we beat you fair and square.
The joy. Yeah, we've robbed of the joy.
Tottenham fans will take the 3 points every day of the week, but there's a part of everyone that goes, wish I could just say we beat Liverpool fair and square, because now every time you say you beat me, I can just throw it, we should have scored that. Like, from time to come. Do you know what I'm saying? And I don't think that's fair on either team. And the last thing I'll say on it is that with the Champions League final, if man wanted to replay that game, hey, I'll replay that game 10 times over, because that Liverpool team was fake. That Liverpool team was fake. And second of all, in that Champions League final, we got to remember, it's similar to the Lukaku offside in the Carabao Cup final 2 seasons ago, where Lukaku was, for me, wrongly offside for the goal. But remember, with certain errors come certain rules. And when Sissoko put his hand up for when the ball hit his chest and then hit his arm, Deji, people might not remember this, but the handball rule was different then, you know. The handball rule wasn't delivered. I know. So for me, that wasn't a handball, but the handball rule was different. So just like the Lukaku offside for Liverpool, in today's game, Sissoko's handball is not a handball. And in the same game, Lukaku is 100% onside in when he scores the goal in extra time. Yeah. But the offside rule, when Lukaku was running, they used to measure the lines. Dumb rule, by the way, by the sleeve. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember. Things. Even now, by his nose.
It's measured by the shoulder, because you can't actually score with this part of your arm. So now it's measured by the shoulder. The time of that goal, Lukaku's goal, it was measured by the sleeve. And if you measure it by his sleeve, he's offside. If you measure it by his shoulder, he's onside. Yeah. So in today's game, he's onside. But the rules at the time, he's offside. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I'll say that if we're going to go back to certain robberies, we have to use the rules at the time. Because do you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying live by it, die by it, because I'm saying because I'm not saying I agree with those rules. I don't agree with those rules. Never would I agree with offside by the sleeve. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
No, you're right. I just think.
Go on.
No, I was just saying, no, I agree with you totally, but I just think common sense has to prevail in it. Champions League final, 2 minutes in, you know you're ruining the game. Just like people saying Curtis Jones' foul on Basuma, given the sort of game it is, maybe it's a red, maybe not. I would say that I've seen Tottenham players get sent off for similar tackles. Yeah, I've seen players get off. I'm not saying,
a red for me. It was a red card. It was a red.
You agree? You agree it's a red? All right, legit. So respect you for that. And but look, I hear you about the times and stuff. But when I just think back, Tottenham had a situation where Eric Dyer did a little header, and the ball kind of went like that, and against Newcastle, and they gave a pen, and you just think, man, how's my man going to jump?
That when VAR first.
Yeah, and I want to ask you, because you played ball. How about Romero's handball in the Arsenal game? Now, you know, as a defender, when you're lunging, when you lunge, your arm goes up. Unless
Yeah,
you
for
want
balance.
to,
You lunge
you
for
can't
balance.
put your hand and your back when you're lunging. I like
No,
that's not
again,
really
you
a
gotta remember,
handball.
but you've said to me common sense must prevail. Since when was there common sense with VAR, Deji? You know this. You know this. We know what's right, but you know this game. And you know in this game of football, rules and common sense are on different spectrums. Now, for me, I was so angry when that Romero handball was given because
Mate,
when Liverpool
you
played
play
Chelsea,
football, you know.
when Liverpool played Chelsea, Jackson jumped like this. I don't know if you remember. Opening day.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember this. Opening day.
Yeah.
Corner gets in. Jackson jumps like this. And the ball, and Diaz heads the ball, and the ball is goal bound. The header is on target. It slaps his hand. And they checked it and said the proximity was like 3/4 of a meter. So for me, I'm like, well, first of all, you're telling me the proximity is too close, but isn't the rule that if your hand's in an unnatural position, then proximity doesn't matter? So there's that.
Exactly.
So then fast forward all the way to the North London derby. Ben White shovels on the turn. Romero goes to block the shot on the line. It hits Romero's hand. Again, same distance, 3/4 of a meter.
Purpose. He's just lunging. So that's what happens when you lunge.
They said his hands are in an unnatural position, penalty. So I'm like, hold on a minute. So listen, whether you give the decision or not, I'm not even asking for 100% common sense. Do you know what I'm asking for? Consistency. Either both of them are penalties or both of them are not penalties. Just at least so I know what's going on. Because how about this? I think some of the defenders don't even know, clarity-wise, what are the indiscrepancies with the handball rule. Do you know what I'm saying? Because now, as a defender, I'm looking at the Jackson thing. I'm looking at the Romero thing, thinking, all right, do I defend like this or do I work on my balance? Which one do I do? What do I do?
No,
do you know what I'm saying?
It really is. I agree with you, and I went as far as to say that I think refereeing decisions, because when we didn't have VAR, you could kind of accept human error. I mean, bro, Tottenham had the goal from the halfway line that blatantly went in at Old Trafford. Yeah, blatantly went in. The ball bounced in. Do you get me? And then my man knocks it out. We got robbed. And I felt like VAR was for things like that. You know, where the ball crosses the line. You know, because even if you look at the Tottenham goal on the weekend with Matip, maybe before VAR, you might think that hit the post. Because the way that ball came in and out, and then you just see Alisson just punch the ball away real quick. If you blinked, you're not even sure if the ball went in or not. Do you get what I'm saying? Let's just be real. And so I thought VAR was for things like that. Clear and obvious errors where actually that was really a goal. If you had slowed it down, you see the ball cross the line. But not what we got now, which is a whole mess. The other thing is, maybe this is what they want. I remember watching a documentary on the NBA with kind of match fixing with refs. I'm not saying there's match fixing going on, but that whole incident on the weekend has got everyone talking about it. And also, you've just described a litany of errors where you're just thinking, I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to do a stream. I'm going to invite you back, Mons, where I just want to rack up points you could have had the right decision been given.
How about league titles that could have had their G?
Do you know what I'm saying? Because this is madness. Maybe Tottenham's in Europe. Maybe Tottenham is in Europe.
I will never forgive that Rodri handball.
You never what?
Never. I will never forgive that Rodri handball. Never will I forgive that.
Yeah.
The ball, even talking about it just gets me hot, bro. Never will I forgive that. I can't ever forgive that Rodri handball. I can't. VAR, no. 5 man. There are 5 men in that room. It's 5 men in that room, So for 5 men to make the same mistake with 4 officials and 1 ref, bro, it's mad.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to talk conspiracy.
These men aren't underpaid. No, these men are underpaid.
Because me and you at Stockley Park wouldn't have come up with that error.
No,
we couldn't make that mistake. I didn't even need to draw a line. I saw it myself.
In the stadium, bro, it looked onside even in real life.
Honestly, The only thing I was saying is that the footballing god said, you know what, this is Tottenham's day. So it don't matter what Liverpool do. You could have thrown your kitchen sink. You get me? It could have been a whole bad, Maddison could have scored 3 own goals. They would have all been disallowed. I just felt the footballing gods was on Tottenham's side. I just want to big up Hashim in the building. Thank you, bro. He showed love earlier today. Back. Megan Fox is in the building. Welcome to you, Megan. Megan is also making reference to the fact that last season, Manchester United, she said Man United 2-1 City last season when Man City got robbed. Yeah,
robbed.
We can literally talk all day about decisions that weren't decisions, and actually we should do a league table of where teams should have finished last season, and the league should bloody pay everyone their compensation, because if Spurs finish 6th, we've missed out on European money based on certain decisions.
With when it comes to decisions and the referees, like I acknowledge that no one's perfect in it, but VAR is there because no one's perfect. Yeah. That's why they implemented it, because they know without VAR, sometimes you might miss the odd goal, or like you said, if the ball goes over the line by a shave, you're not going to see that on the naked eye. Yeah. So VAR is to counteract human error.
Yeah.
But people are making human errors with the VAR.
Yeah, that's madness.
And it's like, well, all right then. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a joke thing, man. I don't
Never
know,
a truer statement has been said. People are making errors with the VAR. Bro, you need to quote that. You need to put money on that. You need to hashtag it. That is your statement, live and exclusive. Thank you, bro. I've got Jonas is saying Emerson Royale. Emerson got sent off against Arsenal. Yeah, Emerson got sent off, and it was again similar tackle to Curtis Jones. So I'm glad that you said what you said. People were shaking their bum about the Salah yellow card on Bissouma. He does bring him down. Maybe
that happened right in front of me. That happened right in front of me.
Yeah. Do you think it was a yellow? Was it a yellow?
No way. It's a 50-50. 50-50.
I mean, we should allow it. I mean, we're supposed to have 50-50s in the game, and where has the game gone if we're booking players for that? So, bro, I mean, what happens now? Obviously, the game done and dusted. You guys are looking good, though. I feel like you guys I've been pleasantly surprised. I mean, last season, I'm not going to lie, your midfield was looking like 150 years old. You've managed to bring it back down to about 50 years old now. McAllister's cooking. Sabot, I can't even say his name, but he's cooking. Curtis Jones was cooking. You've got your other guy in there. I think Liverpool's back. I think Klopp has rebuilt it, bro. I think you're looking nice right now.
You know what?
Are you happy with your squad? Are you happy, or do you think there's still things missing?
Me being a nitpick, I was still nitpicking when we were challenged. When we were like up there with City, I was still nitpicking things about my squad, because unfortunately, when you're chasing Man City, you have to strive for perfection. That's just where we are now. Like, until Pep fucks off out of this league, then you have to strive for perfection, pretty much. Yeah. And like, I'd say I still want a 6. I think McAllister is a very good 8. I think as a 6, he's average. As an 8, though, that boy can cook in it. McAllister's the Argentine plays in the 8. That boy can cook in it. Yeah, because you got it. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, Edson Alvarez in that play. Edson Alvarez, I'm not talking about. Sorry, is it Ugarte? Who plays in DM for Argentina? Is it Ugarte?
I'm not sure. Yeah. No,
it is Ugarte. He plays DM.
The Sporting Lisbon player.
No, is he Uruguayan? Who plays DM?
He's Uruguayan.
Who plays DM for Argentina?
No, I'm not sure. And Enzo.
I thought Enzo played. It might just be a pivot they play, you know. Someone in the chat. Someone update me in the chat.
Yeah.
Who plays DM? Because it's gonna bother me now. It's bothering me. Who plays DM for them? It's actually bothering me.
TJ Warren in the building
on the squad now.
Yeah.
It's the pool. The pool.
Yeah, the pool.
Yeah, you go the pool. Yeah, McAllister and Fernandez is usually the midfield that they play. Yeah, but so my thing is that as a DM, he ain't really it. In the pivot, it can work. And for me, he needs to play in the 8 alongside Szoboszlai for me. And once we get that 6, we can give the protection we need, because I've always said, listen, Liverpool have had a stellar start to the season, but defensively we still look shaky. We kept 1 clean sheet, I think 9. You know what I'm saying? We're still very shaky. We're lucky to have Alisson. Alisson's made some world-class saves.
What a keeper, mate. Brazil don't normally have keepers. Back in the day, Brazil was so good they didn't need good goalkeepers. But bloody hell, Ederson and Alisson, they are blessed with two fantastic keepers. But Alisson, you almost think you can't score. You have to score a good goal to get the ball past him.
This is why, like, because I feel like when strikers go one-on-one with Alisson, they almost think, "Ooh, how am I going to score this?"
Yeah, he puts.
But when you look at keepers like Onana, I think strikers already know they've scored once they come one-on-one. And that is the difference. And that is the difference, I think, between elite and just good. You know what I'm saying? So, just away from Alisson, like, I feel like, the boys are doing really well. I feel like Liverpool are starting games too slow. And I feel like we can do just a little bit better by not conceding the first goal. I think we conceded the first goal in like over half our games. And the way we play in the second half is like someone is giving us the go-go juice and we just do the mad thing in the second half. But I'm saying if we can...
Pretty much most of your games, isn't it? Pretty much most of your games. I think at least 5 of your games this season.
How many games?
How many did the games? You were winning 3-1, 3-1, 3-1, wasn't it? Yeah.
We won 3-1 4 times in a row and we conceded first, and I think all of them. So it's like, again, like my only thing is that's cool, but it ain't sustainable. If you're trying to close the gap between Arsenal and City, that ain't sustainable. It's cool for now when everyone's feeling out the league and everyone's kind of like getting into gear. But when you're in January and you're going 1-0 down, man are shutting up shop, bro. And it takes one bad day for your attackers. For your attackers to have one bad day in front of goal, next thing you know, you're trying to throw the kitchen sink in the 85th minute and you end up losing 2-0 on the counter attack. And I ain't trying to see that. I said if we start the game how we've been starting against Wolves, how we started against Bournemouth, how we started against Lask, then I said I promise Tottenham are winning that game 3-0. So make sure we start the game properly. If we start games how we go into the second half, we could challenge for the title this year. If we start how we've been playing, if we play how we play in the second half. So it's about we just need to get that start slow. It's easy to birth habits. Very easy to get into a habit, then get out of one. And I don't want it to become a habit. One other thing I want to say is that no one's really talking about Virgil van Dijk and how good he has actually been.
He's back. He's back. I think he's gone back. People say, he's not himself. I'm like, what are you talking about? This is Van Dijk. He's back. Like, he's kind of shaking off whatever it was last season. Maybe
whatever madness is.
I think the midfield plays a part, bro. If your midfield is dusty, you're going to be exposed. No, look, you're playing in the Prem. The Prem is the top level, which means that every player has to be on job just to survive.
And defenders are there to be beaten, bro. Like, especially in a top level league,
So if you've got a midfield that can't give them the protection that they need, I think part of the... Look, I'm not going to lie to you. Vicario is impressed me, but I had him down as vicarious liability. Part of the reason...
He's good now. Vicario
he's good now. He's good. I'm not going to lie. He's good, but I don't think he's all that yet, but he's still young. But I think what has helped him is Van de Ven. First of all, I need to be saying that Van de Ven, I've been shaking my bum for
Romero. Listen, is he better?
I think Van de Ven's better than Romero. Van de Ven's better than Romero. Let me just call it out now. If people ain't calling it out, I'm calling it. He's better than Romero. Right now, people just want to do the obvious. I think Van de Ven is up there with Saliba, bro. People are going to say it's too early to call. I think
if I see this until January, because people were putting Saliba and Van Dijk conversations within 2 months.
Yeah. Exactly.
So why can't you not do it?
Well, Van de Ven will be partnering Van Dijk on international duty. I don't know how you get past them two, bro. To be honest with you,
bro, we were linked to him. We were linked to him.
Yeah.
Earlier in the window as well. Yeah. And we ended up not going for a defender.
Why though? Because he's so hard. I can't even believe it, bro.
And we probably would have got him for like 40
You would have got him ahead of us for sure. For sure. You would have got him.
I don't know. I think because the midfield was, bro, as you said, the midfield was, again, Fabinho was moving like the light-skinned Voldemort. You know what I'm saying? Henderson's comb over was going great. You know what I'm saying? Thiago, well, he has no kneecaps left. Oxlade-Chamberlain, you know what I'm saying? Light skin and 30. You know, you get it. Like Naby Keita, African with no judge. It just, you know what I'm saying? Like, no judge. You get it? Nothing there. Like, at least provide something for us. Give us something. But you see what I'm saying? So I'm telling you, our midfield was so old that them man were going for milk after 4 p.m. kickoffs and getting a nap. These men were walking carcass. These men would take daytime naps. You know what I'm saying? So
for real.
that's how old these men were, bro.
Nobody was scared of Liverpool. I ain't gonna lie. They saw your midfield.
Some of these men had arthritis. Some of them had cataracts. Some of these men were taking up the hearing aid after the game. After you never walk alone, it was bad. It was
100. Big up to everyone. Big up TJ Warren. Big up Hair to There. Everyone just being there. Hair to There agrees with us. He says, "Yep, Saliba won all types of honor in League One prior to last season." No, but he says something about Virgil van Dijk. Hold on. He said, "Yeah, Virgil's back on top. I'm most surprised in Matip revived. And Kwanzaa is a real player. Yep. Van Dijk is back. I like Matip. Matip is normally very solid. Saliba won in League One prior to last year, so we knew he was legit. But yes, Mickey, he's fucking hate to say let's talk him Jan Feb. Yeah, look, you can tell. Even your doggy, he's had 2 rocky games playing against Salah, playing against Saka. 2 arguably the best 2 kind of right wingers in the game, and he's done all right. We're not expecting him to just have them patting. They're the best 2.
Huh? So just to interrupt you, bro, because you remember Jaff was good. Obviously, Jaff from ends as well. Like Jaff was hard when he come in. Tanganga.
Yeah.
Jaff was very good when he came in. Very solid. More better going back than he was going forward. But he was solid in it. So that's why. But where's Jaff now? Kind of thing in terms of like.
We just need to give him.
You could blame the management because
it's the management. It's the management because you got like Fikayo Tomori. If he had stayed at Chelsea, he wouldn't be where he is. I just think we should have just sold him to AC Milan or Inter Milan because they want him. AC Milan want him. Go back, go into Europe and come back. Sometimes the Premier League, and I'm talking to now all up and coming ballers. It's all right to go abroad, you know. You don't always have to just be cooking here in the UK. Go out, get your experience. Imagine, that Manduke, he was in our under 23s. He weren't gonna get a sniff. He decided to go to PSV, do his thing, broke into the first team, and then he got bought by Chelsea. Sometimes we have to be moving.
Noni,
he's an academy graduate. He's Tottenham's academy graduate. But he left. He did a Marcus Edwards. He said, "No, I'm not hanging about. I have to go out because I want more game time." And I feel like a lot of these Tanganga should just cut the thing and say, "No, I'm gone. And that's it, rather than hovering, because you're just hovering on the bench. Do you get what I'm saying? And these are young English talent that we could be using, that could be cooking. The fact that Tottenham wanted to buy Marcus Edwards off Sporting for 50 mil is the bit that bemoves me the most. Even when we saw Carl Walker-Peters, and brought in a Serge Aurier.
I'll tell you now. When I was a youth, I played against Marcus Edwards. And I'll tell you right now, he's the best player I've ever seen.
Yeah.
As in, like, and I could, obviously, while we're on stream, so I won't name drop that man's played against. But
no, name drop him, bro, because I know you're legit. That's what I know you played ball. That's what I want to hear.
Like, bro, and there's been some top ballers that man's like come across. Even some that I've just watched play in the cage, that I've just watched and seen. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've played against Josh Onoma, another one of your graduates. He was
another Tottenham graduate.
Yeah, he was a joke. Zenon style dealers, he was again at the school level, in the school, and we're talking in school with it.
Yeah,
these men are joke. Like, we're talking just a joke of a player. But that's just in terms of on the Tottenham side of things. But Marcus, when Poch called him the English Messi, man thought he was stretching it. I promise you, he weren't stretching it. I promise you, this was not.
Called him English Messi. Yeah, it was Poch that called him that.
Bro, my language. He's fucked, bro. Marcus is a joke, bro. The ball does not leave his foot. He doesn't. I'm telling you. And when he faced you, man, and he twisted up everyone and he scored, which would have been the goal of the tournament, goal of the group stage. I promise you, I wasn't surprised. I promise you, Marcus.
What was Tottenham thinking to us,
bro? As I said, off streaming it. But for me, I don't really know a man's business like that. But I think that if Marcus stayed at Tottenham, even if Tottenham were to buy him, I generally feel like he can rival Kulusevski. Maybe not for pace and power, but for a technical winger, the boy could play for Barcelona, bro.
I think I'd prefer him to Manor Solomon. I'm no disrespect. I think Manor Solomon is but I just think Marcus Edwards has a little bit more of a cutting edge. He is a Tottenham boy. He would love. He understands the kind of the rivalries with the Liverpools, the Uniteds of this world. I'm not saying Manor don't, but I just think why bring in Manor Solomon when we had in our academy system? And I think for me and Monts, I think maybe we'll do another stream on it. It just goes to show that I just don't think the British academy system, unless you play for Chelsea, is built for success. You know, only Chelsea are the ones bringing them through. And you know, my son is 8. He's on his own personal journey in the academy setup, and I'm just thinking, but you know, the possibilities, opportunities, is it really there? Because I can't really see that pathway into the first team unless you're playing lower league. But in the Prem, unless you're at Chelsea or Arsenal, it's long. Or Fulham now. Fulham's got a good academy set up with good coaches, but then other teams is dusty, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's another stream. So, bro, what now? You lost. We're not going to replay this thing. It's over. Forget about it. We got to move forward. You got Brighton on the weekend. Do you? I mean, two teams play similar football. For me, what happens this weekend against Brighton, or what are you hoping for? And then finally, what should we expect from Liverpool for the rest of the season?
We need to give Brighton the Ollie Watkins treatment. That's what we need to do. Like I say, we need to give them a pause. They need to get oiled up.
That game was weird. How the hell did they get slapped up like that by Villa?
Yeah, bro. I watched that game. Ollie Watkins was on serious smoke. They just got suffocated early doors. Brighton thought they could do the pretty knock the ball around. These man just came through straight through the back, clamp. Yeah, straight clamp. You think you man can just play your pretty football? No. You're gonna hold a reducer and then see if you still want to play football against us. That's what Villa did. I watched that whole game. Yeah. That's how we're gonna have to start the game. We're gonna have to start fast. Matoma has a track record of making Trent look like a stripper. He also has a track record of making Joe Gomez bend over like Ice Spice. So, of course, I don't want to see my defenders handed in their Hooters applications. So I'd like for us to start on the front foot and not defend. And again, because remember, only 2 points separates first from fourth.
It's madness, isn't
it? It's 19, 18, 18, 17, bro, or something like that. Or 18, 17, 17, 16. Like 2 points separate. So right now, I don't think it's that deep. I think if we win the game, serious. Because Arsenal play City. I actually think Tottenham go top of the league for the next few weeks because Arsenal.
Mate, I would love it, mate. If Tottenham could finish this weekend top of the league, I swear, Dan, it's over for you, man. It is over. All my streams from last year, just rehash it about the winning the league. No, I'm not. I would never do that now. But yeah. So what are we saying then? What are you saying for Liverpool this year? What would be a good season for you, man?
I said before the season, Liverpool comfortably finished third. Even after the Caicedo saga, the Lavia saga, I said, listen,
not
Liverpool. I said Liverpool finished third comfortably. I just think Arsenal are a little bit more. They don't have a better 11 than me. I don't think. I think we give Arsenal problems, home and away. But in terms of the squad, I think our squad's a little bit more light. In terms of if we were to get injuries, I think Arsenal can win games more ugly than us. And I think City and Manchester City, I don't really have to go into that. So I think third was my prediction. I looked at Man United and thought dead food. I said, Ten Hag don't have a style of play. I said, if Rashford's goals dry up, their man are done out here. Rashford's goals have dried up. Where are Man United? You see where they are. Casemiro's doing his best Fabinho impression. Their man are nowhere to be seen. Do you know what I'm saying? Chelsea, I said, cool, they can sign all these players, but they still have to gel. And Poch is not a big-time manager. He manages teams that are up and coming and nurturing the young talent to make them world-class. And I understand Chelsea.
Well, that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to bring in the young guns at Chelsea, really. He's forgotten all the experience.
Chelsea don't have young gun confidence. They don't have Chelsea hire and fire. They don't have the patience to wait for a man to bring through young guns over 3-4 years without no trophies. Them man want trophies or bust. So where are Chelsea now? Exactly where I thought they were going to be, struggling outside of the top 6. You know what I'm saying? Well, I actually thought they'd be like 5th, 6th, but they're even worse where they are. You don't know where the goals are coming from with them, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm looking. So once you move Chelsea and United out of the equation, which I already did, it kind of just leaves Tottenham. Oh my God, Newcastle got 1-up against PSG. No way.
I've got Newcastle to beat PSG. You know, I don't know if you do Super 6. I've got Newcastle to beat PSG 2-1.
I've got PSG on my hacker store. Jesus.
Nah.
Anyway, yes, all right. We'll have to see
that Newcastle, that midfield, them man are wrestlers, mate.
Yeah, it's true.
They're wrestlers. In PSG, they're not about that life. I can tell you that for free.
But so yeah, that's so I don't think there's too much. I think the top four will be Tottenham, Arsenal, Liverpool, and City. I think now that I've seen Liverpool start the season, I do think we are capable of second place now that we've actually started the season. I think it just depends on fitness. If we keep the players fit, we could even rival Manchester City because they're still trying to, with Doku, they're still trying to integrate things. So I think what's next for City, I don't think it's too crazy. But I do think Arsenal, when they figure it out, could go on a run.
I'm not shaking my bum for Arsenal. I've been saying for months, it. You've heard me say it before that I thought Arsenal were freakish last season. And the way they've started this season has kind of made me feel they are freakish. Bro, I watched them get slapped up by Lens yesterday. Remember, that group is a Europa League group. And them men are getting slapped up. Anyway, I'm going to be dealing with Arsenal later in the week. I'm not convinced by Arsenal. Don't be surprised if Tottenham finish above Arsenal, bro. Don't be surprised. And for me, that would be the funniest thing because everyone's been telling us about the phases at Arsenal, innit? We're in we finished phase 3 and we're now going into phase 4. Mate, Postecoglou's just got here. Explain that. Because you can't say it's a new manager bounce, not after 7 games. Right now, you can see that Tottenham have definitely changed. I'm not shaking my bum. I'm not saying we're sorted. You can still see blatantly there is a long journey. But the fact that he's getting these results is calm. But if you're right and Tottenham finish in the top 4, I'll be very happy with that because before the season started, I was hoping for 8th. Then I moved it up to Europa League, and I haven't said, no one's heard me say Champions League. I'm not saying it, but if Tottenham get the win over, because Tottenham's next 3 games is Luton, Fulham, Crystal Palace. If somehow we can get 9 points from those games, then come back in it and ask me the question. That's how I feel. But definitely, I think Liverpool back. I think Liverpool will finish above Arsenal this season for sure. I don't rate Arsenal. Don't be surprised if Arsenal finish 4th, if not 5th. I really don't rate them, bro.
I think they've become a lot more predictable. I do think they've become more predictable. I do.
And then, man, now Saka's injured as well. That's going to be a thing. I don't know how long he's out for. But yeah, I think it's looking long. But, bro, in the end, I agree with you. I think it could have easily been a draw on the weekend. It is a damn shame that we couldn't have seen 11v11. But I do think if football is one of those sports where it's a leveler, where, all the bullshit that's happened before, it levels itself out eventually, then Saturday was that game. Saturday was a leveler. We call it quits now. We're evens now. And we move forward and we take the 3 points. So I'm cool with it. Jurgen Klopp should just hush his gums and just focus on what he needs to do. And, I wish both Liverpool and Spurs the very best. I'm looking forward to coming to Anfield. I think it's going to be a great game there as well. And hopefully you guys will do bits. When have you lot got Arsenal, though? Because when is that game coming up?
I mean, that's in December. That's quite far away. That game doesn't happen.
Yeah. So, all right, that's calm. Last comment, and then we'll call it a day. Deji, just say it. You see how Ange is smart and manages Son and Madison's fitness. Compare that to how Arteta runs. Bro, I was surprised. I'm not going to lie. I have to say Arteta is a pussy, bro. One thing about managers, you could see that we took off Maddison and Son early in the Liverpool game because we knew they weren't fully fit. I was not expecting to see Saka play against Bournemouth. If you got to play your best player against Bournemouth when you know you got a Champions League game on Tuesday, then you do not have strength in depth, but also you got problems. The fact that he did that showed me that, one, he doesn't rate your squad depth. As Arsenal fans shaking their bum, we got Kai Havertz, we got all of this. 2, Ramsdale does not deserve to be on the bench. Ramsdale, if he has any sense, he should leave in January and go and get a team, because the fact that Raya has been starting games ahead of Ramsdale is further evidence that he has dropped. And when I was telling Arsenal fans last season that Ramsbottom is not the guy, you thought I was chatting rubbish. Now you know Deji Spurs was helping. But Mons, thank you for coming. Shout out your channel as you do, bro. Thank you for passing through. and now we'll be passing through. But shout out your channel, my brother.
Yeah, big Sixpence. We are on the way to 7K. I think around about 6.67, something like that. So let's get to 6.7K, and then obviously we're on the home straight to 7,000, and hopefully 10K by the end of the year. So yeah, big Sixpence. If you want to see the carnage, the arguments, and the screaming and the shouting, and that's your type of thing, then that's where you need to be, man. But make sure you smash the like on this video as well, and make sure you subscribe.
And I'll be passing through next week, especially if Spurs win. If Tottenham's top of the league, I will definitely be on Bants probably all week. You get me? Because let any fan from Arsenal, Liverpool, Man U, I don't give a damn who you are. If Spurs is top of the league next week, know that I'm coming for all of your streams and socials. But everyone, thank you for tuning in. Go and watch the rest of the Champions League games, and good night.